In the world of American politics, few figures have stirred up as much controversy and debate as Donald Trump. From his beginnings as a real estate mogul to his time as the 45th President of the United States, Trump has been a master of media attention. But behind the public persona lies a pattern of statements and claims that have often been questioned and debunked. This video takes you on a journey through the numerous instances where Trump's words have been proven false.
Even though President Biden has a speaking problem and he has a stutter, he clearly laid out what he'll do and what he has done and undecideds.
In the recent 2024 debate, people noticed a big difference between President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump. Even though Biden sometimes stuttered, he answered the questions clearly and talked about his achievements as president. Trump, on the other hand, often dodged questions and made several false claims, which many viewers and fact-checkers quickly pointed out.
Fue el tema que más acaparó su atención en este debate.
El hecho de que el señor Trump solamente volvió a lo mismo, a decir lo mismo, en cuanto a que es el peor presidente, que Afganistán, pero no contesta, no dice qué voy a hacer para remediar cosas.
This led to strong reactions on social media. One tweet on X mentioned that every undecided Latino the user knew decided to vote for Biden after watching the debate because Trump sounded like a liar.
Tonight we saw two things. People can choose between a con-in-chief or a commander-in-chief.
People have even gone ahead to tag Trump a con-in-chief as opposed to Biden, whom they are calling a commander-in-chief.
You work with him again?
Well, we'll see. He's calling me new scum. He's really elevated. I think my 7th grade friend called me new scum. That's the elevation of the maturity of Donald Trump.
And when Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, was asked if he would like to work with Trump again, he said that Trump called him a news scum, a mockery of his last name.
In particular, because what we know is that when you look at the two sides of the ledger, what we had in Joe Biden is someone who wanted to have a debate based on facts, based on truth. And in Donald Trump, we had what we have come to expect, which is someone who's going to push lies and distract from the reality of the damage he has created and continues to create in our country.
Even Vice President Kamala Harris has something to say about the debate. To no one's surprise, she called the debate an eye-opener, a spectacle that showed everyone the two sides of the ledger. On one side, you have Biden, who spoke fact, and the other, you have Trump, who kept pushing lies.
Joe Biden fighting for the American people, Donald Trump fighting for himself.
According to her, the debate only showed that Biden was fighting for the American people, while Trump was only fighting for himself.
And as I say, we've got to have the back of this president. You don't turn your back because of one performance. What kind of party does that? It's been a masterclass. 15.6 million jobs. That's 8 times more than the last 3 Republican presidents combined. The only thing the last 3 Republican presidents have in common is recessions.
Despite Biden sometimes struggling to answer questions clearly due to his stuttering, his overall performance was defended by California Governor and Democrat Gavin Newsom. When asked if Biden should step aside, Newsom emphasized the importance of standing by the president, insisting that one debate performance shouldn't overshadow his accomplishments and leadership.
You'll never take back our country with weakness. We fight like hell. And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore.
Around 1 p.m., as Trump is wrapping up his remarks in the park, the day turned violent.
During the debate, one of the notable lies Trump made was that only a small number of people went to the Capitol on January 6th, and many were ushered in by the police. This is false. The attack on the U.S. Capitol was the deadliest assault on American democracy in over 200 years. Thousands of people stormed Capitol Hill, resulting in violent clashes with the police. Video footage, photographs, and eyewitness accounts all document the chaotic and brutal scenes of that day.
We have somebody that is bragging about the fact that he took Roe v. Wade away from us.
He said every legal scholar wanted Roe overturned, abortion returned to the states. Legal scholars have told me directly this is not true.
Trump also went ahead to say that the problem radicals have is that they intend to take the life of a child in the 8th month, the 9th month, and even after birth. His statement is inaccurate. No state allows abortions after birth. Infanticide is illegal in every state, and killing a baby after birth is criminalized.
They are not just gangs of kids anymore. They are often the kinds of kids that are called super predators. No conscience, no empathy. We can talk about why they ended up that way, but first we have to bring them to heel. And the president has asked the FBI to launch a very concerted effort against gangs everywhere.
And that's not all of the lies he made right there on stage. Trump also accused Biden of harming the black community by allegedly calling them super predators for a decade, stating that this term has deeply offended them. Contrary to what Trump said, it was Hillary Clinton, not Joe Biden, who used the term super predators in the 1990s, while advocating for the 1994 crime bill that Biden co-authored. Although Biden did refer to predators in a speech supporting the bill, he never used the term super predators.
Every day, migrants lock arms and brave the fast-moving current of the Rio Grande River to cross over from Mexico before they take that very last step.
Trump blamed Biden for causing numerous deaths by failing to manage the border properly and allowing a surge of migrants, which he claims is leading to increased crime and fatalities among U.S. citizens. His allegations are misleading and lack evidence. He frequently asserts that other countries are sending their prisoners and mentally ill individuals to the U.S., but there is no proof to support this claim.
The study also found that U.S.-born citizens commit more violent crimes and that legal immigrants are about 2 times more likely to commit a violent crime than those who are undocumented.
Furthermore, Trump suggests that the influx of immigrants is causing a rise in crime, although crime statistics actually show a decrease in violent crime.
He said Biden personally gets a lot of money from China. Zero evidence of this.
Trump then accused Biden of personally receiving money from China. There is no evidence to support Trump's claim that Biden has received money from China.
He said Iran didn't fund Hamas, Hezbollah, other terror groups under his presidency. Iran, in fact, did.
Trump also claimed that during his presidency, Iran did not fund Hezbollah. Well, he lied again. Throughout Trump's presidency, Iran continued to provide financial support to Hezbollah, and it has done so for many years.
Protesters set fire to the Minneapolis police precinct, where the 4 officers involved in George Floyd's death worked. They also set off fireworks outside and managed to get inside the building, which had been evacuated earlier in the night.
While also talking about the Minneapolis protest after the killing of George Floyd, he said these words: "If I didn't bring the National Guard, that city would have been destroyed." Again, Trump was being untruthful. It was Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, not Trump, who deployed the National Guard to Minneapolis to manage the unrest after George Floyd's killing.
And while jobs are being added back at a historically strong clip, total employment is not yet back to the levels we saw when Trump took office.
Trump claimed, "We had the greatest economy in history." This statement is untrue. The pandemic caused a severe recession during Trump's presidency, leading the government to borrow $3.1 trillion in 2020 to support the economy. Trump left office with fewer jobs than when he started. Even excluding the pandemic's impact, the average economic growth during Trump's first 3 years was 2.67%. While solid, it does not match the 4% growth rate during Bill Clinton's presidency from 1993 to 2001. According to the Bureau of Economic Analysis, economic growth has been stronger under Biden so far than it was under Trump.
He said Biden wants to quadruple people's taxes. That is pure fiction. He said the U.S. has provided way more aid to Ukraine than Europe had.
More from Trump's pool of lies. He claimed that Biden wants to triple Americans' taxes. But this was totally made up. There is no evidence that President Biden has proposed tripling taxes for Americans. Biden's tax plans have focused on increasing taxes for the wealthiest individuals and corporations, not the average taxpayer.
He said the U.S. has provided way more aid to Ukraine than Europe had. It's actually the opposite. He said the U.S. has provided about $200 billion in Ukraine aid. It's closer to $110 billion.
He also said that the U.S. has provided more aid to Ukraine than all of Europe combined. Just like every other one of his statements, this isn't true. While the U.S. has been a significant contributor of aid to Ukraine, European countries collectively have provided substantial support as well, Various European nations, along with the European Union, have collectively contributed billions in financial, military, and humanitarian aid to Ukraine.
He said Nancy Pelosi turned down his offer of 10,000 National Guard troops on January 6th. There's no evidence she even got such an offer. It was the president, not Pelosi, who had the power to deploy the DC Guard.
Trump also said that he offered then House Speaker Nancy Pelosi 10,000 soldiers or National Guard members for January 6th, but she turned them down. How could this have happened when, in fact, Nancy Pelosi did not have the authority to direct the National Guard? On January 6th, as the Capitol was being attacked, Pelosi, along with then Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, called for military assistance, including from the National Guard. It was not within Pelosi's power to accept or decline National Guard deployments. That decision lies with executive branch officials, including the President and the Secretary of Defense.
He said NATO was going out of business before he took office, completely, clearly absurd. He said the U.S. was paying 100% of NATO before he came along.
He also said something about NATO. According to him, NATO was going out of business before he became president. This is nowhere near the truth. Before Trump took office, NATO was still a strong and active military alliance. Although some NATO members have been criticized for not meeting their defense spending commitments, the organization was not on the brink of collapse. Trump's push for increased defense spending among NATO members did lead to some countries boosting their contributions, but NATO was never close to going out of business. As we continue to watch the political landscape unfold, it's clear that Donald Trump's statements often require careful scrutiny and fact-checking. With the election drawing near, we may see more instances of Trump making bold claims on national TV. What do you think about the statements discussed in this video? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated.